Haters wanna hate like there's no tomorrow. Let me say it again with a little Mario. Tryna play the hero like my name is Zorro. Name is Zorro, now everybody get up, yeah. Get up, alright. We came to spark that flame. Let my artists claim we fed up, yeah. We fed up, alright. We been cooking that heat. It's that underground shit. Flexing on that 2020 vision, yeah. Tryna get the plenty riches, yeah. I've done what many didn't, yeah. Let me show them people how I'm gonna get it, yeah. I've been putting in this work, never thinking twice. Cooking out that dirt, now that Nietzsche on the mic. Collecting what I earn, I've been eating real nice. You'll be looking like a jerk if you didn't treat me right, yeah. Cause I've been keeping on that low, stacking on that box full of gold. In case anybody didn't know, my beat's so hard it's gonna shake your soul. Let's go. Haters wanna hate like there's no tomorrow. Let me say it again with a little Mario. Tryna play the hero like my name is Zorro. Name is Zorro, now everybody get up, yeah. Get up, alright. We came to spark that flame. Let my artists claim we fed up, yeah. We fed up, alright. We been cooking that heat. It's that underground shit.
Me no, get good, Shep, huh? For all my ninjas all over the poop. Hey, me no, get good, Shep, huh? For all my haters, cause I love you too. Yeah, moi. Bye Felicia, this Nietzsche fly Felicia, it's only 5 I feature on. I see, I tried to teach them, hold up, wait a second. Oh, yeah, I'ma get it. Mac, my co-defendant with the matte windows, they tinted. Yeah, it's been a long road, it's been a wild life. They couldn't break me down, this what it sound like. I got it for my cook 'em, I got it for my mush 'em. Anytime I reach, make sure my sound right. Let's go.
Haters wanna hate like there's no tomorrow. Let me say it again with a little Mario. Tryna play the hero like my name is Zorro. Name is Zorro, now everybody get up, yeah. Get up, alright. We came to spark that flame. Let my artists claim we fed up, yeah. We fed up, alright. We been cooking that heat. It's that underground shit.
What's up, world? In partnership with Impact, taking it global and the Shamandi Foundation, N'we Jinan is proud to present to you the Windcarriers Challenge. This 20-week social media campaign is calling on all Indigenous youth and people in our network to create artwork at home and submit them for a chance to win prizes, including our grand prize, a brand new MacBook Pro. Tune in every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on all our social media platforms for a chance to learn techniques from professional artists every week. We will also be featuring some of our students who will be sharing their skills and talking about their experiences working within our programs. So get your beats ready and get those canvases primed. Make sure your camera's in focus as we move through this difficult time. The Windcarriers Challenge, here to bring you good peace of mind. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love to welcome everyone to today's Windcarriers Challenge. My name is David Hodges, your hostess from the coast to coastest, doing this till you go to sleep like osmosis. I don't know. That's all I got. I guess I'm just focused, trapped inside the moment, feeling so explosive, known over all of the oceans. I don't know. That's all I got, really. Actually, I could keep going, but I'm just happy to be here today. I'd like to shout out everyone that's tuning in from wherever you're tuning in from. Make sure that you drop those comments so that we can definitely share this and get your comments going. We're really excited to be here. We took a little break last week. I was not able to do the show. I did a little bit of my taste of traveling for the first time. I actually traveled from Montreal to Prince George, northern British Columbia, to actually create the Spirit Bear theme song with a group of Carriers to Candy youth on behalf of the Caring Society. Shout out to everyone at the Caring Society, Cindy Blackstock, and all the amazing work that they're doing. It was a really interesting experience. Worked with some exceptional youth, but had to take the Monday off to do that work. And I'm just happy to be here again to bring another edition of Windcarriers Challenge. We got an amazing show lined up for you. But if you are tuning in for the first time, I want to kind of give you some context as to who we are and what we're doing. So yes, my name is David Hodges. I'm the co-executive director here at InPath, doing a lot of my work in outreach and partnerships, and representing our N'we Jinan programs. But just in case if you didn't know, InPath is a learning non-for-profit organization that develops and supports our N'we Jinan programs. We also train and support our incredible roster of professional artists working within our programs. And our main objective is to weave creative networks of support for Indigenous youth. We're just really happy to be here today. We are here as a result of one of our programs, the N'we Jinan Festival and Youth Conference, not being able to happen due to COVID. And so we decided as an organization to take it to the social media and respond with a weekly show where we bring on incredible youth that have connected to us through our programs, and have them come on the show, talk about their experiences and share some of their talents and skills, as well as bringing on the InPath artists that work within our organization, within our programs, and share some of their skills as well. And we've also been doing weekly artistic challenges so that the audience, you at home, could actually actively participate every single week with an artistic challenge and submit them for prizes. And we've been doing it for 15 weeks. We're here in the 15th week officially now, just keeping it moving and keeping it going, not fizzling out. We keeping it going. We keeping it strong, and we've been doing this on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. For the folks out there that are checking this out on David Hodges' social media, so my personal page and my fan page too. If you want to chime in and be part of the discussion on the show, please check it out on our Facebook page right now, on the N'we Jinan Facebook page. That's where the official one is happening, and your comments could be seen by us and our team. So we really appreciate that. Also, the hashtag Windcarriers Challenge, if you have been submitting or you want to check out some of the submissions that have been happening over the last 15 weeks, you can check out the hashtag Windcarriers Challenge and all that good stuff. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors before we move any further. The Shamedy Foundation and taking it global. The Shamedy Foundation is a private family foundation based in Montreal, founded in 2015 with a vision of improving the lives of younger generations so that they may have the opportunity of a brighter future. Shamedy Foundation gave us a whack of dollars to do this, and we are forever grateful for them. They allocated this money to help bolster and do some outreach towards keeping youth at home engaged with creative projects. So we're super grateful for them, as well as taking it global. They're one of the world's leading networks of young people learning about, engaging with, and working towards tackling global challenges. They have a lot of incredible engaging programs. They have the Rising Youth Micro Grant program, where any youth who wants to do a specialized project in their home, in their community, can get access to some funding to do some volunteer, any kind of project that has a community engagement involved. So that's a great program. They have the Connected North Leadership Fund as well. And also the program that we're partnering up with them is Create to Learn. Create to Learn is an amazing digital app that's for free that you can download on the App Store. And essentially what it is, it's an app that connects you to Indigenous content creators, artists that share and tell their stories. Also, talk about different skill sharing. There's different workshops, and we've actually had some of our InPath artists who are connected to this Create to Learn as well come on the show and share some of that stuff. So big shout out to Taking It Global. They also are the ones that gave us the laptop. The MacBook Pro, which is that grand prize that's coming up soon. We only got 3 more weeks left. And, every week, essentially, you have an opportunity to submit. Wait, hold on. Here we go. You have an opportunity to submit
yeah, when you make a submission, it's an automatic entry into that grand prize. But every single week too, if you are submitting this week, you submitted last week, you're competing for that weekly prize, which is essentially like $100 gift card, a N'we Jinan prize pack, and all of that. But we get quite a few submissions, and so every week though, we want to ensure that you don't feel like that it's like, oh, I worked so hard on this artwork and I didn't win. The draws are completely random, but it's just to ensure that, say, if you've been with us since that first week and you've submitted every single week, so that's 15 times, that means you have 15 chances at winning that MacBook Pro when we do that final draw. And we're going to be doing that final draw live on the N'we Jinan Windcarriers show to really bring that extra special excitement. But so last week or 2 weeks ago, we had Logan Thackeray and Cassie Capay come on the show. We did a little bit of art. I actually did some art on that show. Let me show you actually. Wait, hold on. Let me get that real quick. We did some painting. I'm not a visual artist at all. And I'm really excited for today's show, too, to do some visual arts. But this is what I painted. I don't know what it is. I think in the end, I thought it was some sort of futuristic whale with like a dolphin with some sort of weird mechanism that was guiding the whale on its turbulent journey through the waters. That's what I ended up kind of seeing. But we essentially, that was our challenge of the week this week for the last few weeks, and we had loads of submissions. But we did have a what's it called, a winner. For this week's. I don't have the picture. I should have gotten organized here, but you can check it out on our Instagram pages, on the Instagram with the hashtag Windcarriers. But the winner of this week's challenge is Kylie Link Terry. So shout out to Kylie Link Terry. That's a new name for me. So that's a new submission and a new winner. Congratulations. We'll be reaching out to you and getting in touch to see where to get your prize, and so that's all great. I'm loving these comments that are coming through. I'm going to share them very shortly, but before I do, who do we have on today's show? I'm super excited to be bringing on these two amazing individuals. I've known them respectively from completely different contexts, but it's through our programs that I connected with them. So we have Akita Abraham, who's kind of, if you've been tuning in for the last 15 weeks, has kind of been tuning in on and has come on to our show in different contexts, but where we have her as an official guest today to be able to talk a little bit and get to know her a little bit better. But she's super awesome, young Stony Cree youth artist, originally from the Rocky Mountain House, but we met her at the Scalep School of Excellence out in Kamloops, BC a couple years ago, and she's just phenomenal. Does pretty much every type of artistic medium that's possible, you know what I mean? But she does it also extremely well. So we're going to talk a little bit about her. Also, the big homie, Jimmy Baptiste. I actually connected with him like 4 or 5 years ago. And, he's been working with our organization ever since. He's an incredible illustrator, drawer, also youth facilitator, amazing overall person. We're going to kind of get to talk a little shop with him as well and do an activity together. So that's something that we do new on our show, is doing a live Windcarriers activity on the show today. And so if you are at home and you kind of got the next hour to spare and you're just kind of watching, and you want to create art alongside us, go get some paper, some pencil crayons. If you have an iPad with like an app where you can actually draw on it, that's also acceptable. That's what Akita actually brought today. So she's working from her iPad. Myself, I'm working from, I only got pencil and paper and a couple highlighters. I'm not a visual artist, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to try my best. And Jimmy's got his setup as well. So we're going to be getting into that shortly. So you have a bit of time to get into that before we get into it. Before we get into the song of the week, shout out to all the people that are just chiming in. We got Van Gorian. What's up, my bro? Hope all is well out in Chisasibi. Big shout out to him. We got Destiny. Aloha watching from Oahu. Hawaii's in the house. Okay, that's pretty chill. We're far reaching today. We got Trista chiming in here from Kakuwisita First Nation, Saskatchewan. I feel like that's in the Treaty 4 region. So shout out to Trista. I recognize that last name. We worked out with some folks from Kawakatus, and that's pretty awesome. Oh, shout out to Johnny Griffin from Montreal. Good buddy of mine, man. He says he's watching the show. That's super, super dope, bro. Destiny again is here. So Trista from Many Paths. That's correct. I knew it was from Kawakatus. And yeah, so yeah, we're just gonna get into the song of the week. So essentially every week we always play a new N'we Jinan song that was created by the Mobile Production Studio program. And today we are going to be playing a song from the Niska Nation called Make It Through. I'm going to share it here real quick before I get into it. This is a song that's featured on the Windcarriers Volume 8 compilation CD that was it's released on iTunes and all the digital music platforms. You can definitely go and check that out. Support the youth in all they do. Listen to some good music that's created by the Indigenous youth from across the nations here. But this song is brought to you by the Niska Nation out in northern BC. The song's called Make It Through. Really cool songs. I'll just get into a little bit of the details behind it. Oh yeah, and a quick shout out to ourselves. We actually hit 12K subscribers on the N'we Jinan YouTube channel. So if you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. But yo, we just hit 12K. That's pretty cool. Kind of like an organic reach. We have 0 ads leading to the YouTube page, so it's kind of just been an organic reach, and we're super excited about that to continue to be able to amplify Indigenous youth voice through these songs. So Make It Through is created by the Niska Elementary Secondary School youth out in northern British Columbia. This haunting anthemic guitar-based song explores the hardships of the past, the loss of family, but how the journey of life has brought hope to today's generation through language, self-expression, and opportunities to lift each other up. Shout out to the youth from the song: Emma, Julian, Trinity, Roy, Heather, Jalen, Xavier. There you go. Sorry, the French thing. Xavier and Hannah. And shout out to the production team, Milan, Andre, and Andre Savu. This song is called Make It Through. Hope y'all enjoy.
I'm in a small space, trapped in a dark place. Get me out, I'm scared. Somehow, somewhere, I know I can be happy there.
I was feeling kind of low, feeling like I was moving slow. I didn't know what to do anymore. But now I got better days. I left the mess behind, now it's yesterday.
I'm not depressed, but I get stressed sometimes. I got a lot of thoughts, they make me cry a lot. Coping mechanisms that are unhealthy. I'm hoping that you listen to my voice and help me.
I cannot take the pain away, but I can make you laugh until it fades away. I'll always be around for my baby sister. Don't you ever doubt it, 'cause I'm right here with ya.
There's a lot on my mind and I think I wanna write it down. There's a light in the dark and I know I wanna find it now. Every single day is a struggle, but I'm gonna make it through, I'll make it through. There's a light in the dark and I know I'm gonna find it. When my yet died, I couldn't breathe. More than family, I lost a part of me. I hope you know that I'm doing better. I'll miss you forever.
You made me feel at home, you gave me your support. I used to be shy, now I got cousins by my side. My dad wanted to travel the world, just us two, but he was taken away too soon. And Mom, I hope you find happiness and get on track, 'cause we want to come back.
There's a lot on my mind and I think I wanna write it down. There's a light in the dark and I know I wanna find it now. Every single day is a struggle, but I'm gonna make it through, I'll make it through. There's a light in the dark and I know I'm gonna. Gaskar Lucer, Gaskar Laxi, Dem Sight, Waltans, Agendados. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light, mix it together and you got life. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light, mix it together and you got life. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Mix it together and you got life. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light.
Uh-huh. There you go. That's Make It Through, courtesy of the youth out of Niska Nation. That's a great song. I actually haven't like bumped that one in a bit. But yeah, that one goes very deep. I love the message of that song. It's like it's a great message that comes at an important time. When we're thinking about today's youth, young generation, reclamation of culture and language through self-expression. That's what we ultimately strive to do as an organization, but really be able to provide those tools. And so that's why I'm kind of excited. I'm actually really excited to bring on the first guest of the show today because, she really embodies that and definitely has a lot to say in her early years through artistic expression. Her name is Akita Abraham. I had the chance of actually working with her and meeting her like 3 years ago. This is actually a picture of her performing here. She's the one with the very colorful pants that matches her very colorful character here, performing at the First Nation Schools Association Dream Keepers album launch out in BC a couple of years ago. But Akita Abraham here, I guess I'll read her introduction and I'm going to bring her onto the show and we'll get into it. So Akita Abraham's a vibrant Stoney and Cree artist, young artist, originally from the Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, now residing in Kamloops, British Columbia. She spends a lot of her time with the arts, whether it is writing songs, recording music on BandLab, creating animations on her iPad, singing choir, or learning about her culture and traditions. This young creative is set on achieving her dreams through artistic means. Like I said, we met her 3 years ago during the mobile production studio program at Scalep School of Excellence. I'm actually going to play a quick excerpt from that song.
Now everything is fine. You were sitting in the dark. Now we're letting in the light. Our school's a place we go. We feel safe and we feel better again. A home away from home. We're happy here and to be together again. You've shown there's always hope when tough times get you down. Let us begin and walk the longest road. We are here with you. We'll never forget. No, no, no. No, no, no. We'll never forget. Never forget. Never forget.
That's it. So that was a little excerpt from "We Won't Forget You" that was created back in the days 3 years ago to Scalep School of Excellence with Akita and the rest of the amazing talented youth from the school. But without further ado, let's just bring Akita on and let's talk some shop. Everyone, give it up for Akita Abraham. Everyone.
Hello.
Doesn't that bring you back, Akita, or what?
Oh yes, that brings me back.
Oh
To
my
the
gosh.
good days.
I know. But how are these days going though? Are they still good days, or those were some good days back then, eh?
These days are a little bit tougher, but I'm getting through it just fine.
What's for you? What has been making these days a little tougher for you?
I'm getting a little discipline to toughen me up.
That's it. What is
Yeah, and my sisters are growing big and strong, and I'm happy that they're all healthy and fine throughout these rough times.
No, definitely. I know it's been kind of a rough time. I know out in you're out in Kamloops, British Columbia. Before we really get into it, because I love just having long chats with you, Akita. It's always very interesting. But for the people at home that don't know who you are, maybe introduce them to who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your journey that has led you to here today.
Yes. Well, I am Akita Abraham. I haven't. Sorry, stage fright. I am Akita Abraham. I'm only 14 I'm only 14 years old, and I'm quite talented for my age.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And so because right now you're living out in Kamloops, British Columbia. We met you at the Scalep School of Excellence, and I'm just really excited to have you here, Akita, because some people that have been watching us throughout the last 15 weeks have come to know, learn a little bit about you, because you have all these different artistic talents, like you talked about, right? Like, I've come to know you as a singer-songwriter, but now I'm also finding out that you're starting to get into animation. You're doing a lot of drawing. You're doing a lot of things, and I would love to, because I know that you write a lot of original songs. So I'm hoping that you're going to share a new original song with us at some point in this interview. But
Yes.
but my question I wanted to get us going is, how did you get interested into the arts? Like, what was like something that got you into the arts?
Well, it started with me and a coloring book and my mom. This was before any of my sisters were born. We sat down on the table, and my mom taught me how to color in the lines each and every time, and I traveled off from there, and now I'm a better artist than my own mom.
Is that so?
This was at 3 years old.
At 3 years old. Okay. So you really kept to it. You kept coloring within the lines. So like another thought that I was thinking is, because that's just coloring, right? And you've kind of started doing things like, started doing some songwriting, like writing down stuff, like writing poetry. Where did your interest in writing and songwriting come from?
That interest has come from, that interest just came out of me. So I started getting interested in music, and that's when I got into the whole poetic thing.
That's awesome. And speaking about poetry, I know we were just listening to that last song, Make It Through. I saw you vibing out backstage, and you even commented there. I think some of those lyrics and some of those, like the vibe of the song, really resonated with you. Like, you connected to the message. There's a line in it. There's a line in the chorus there. It says that there's a lot on my mind, so I want to write it down. I don't know, when you hear that word, like, does that resonate with you and connect with you in any kind of ways?
Yes, absolutely.
So like, what kind of stuff would you typically write down? Do you know what I mean? Like, you do a lot of writing. So tell me a little bit about that process. Like, when it comes to you, is it like a buildup of emotion, or do you kind of just sit there and sometimes be like, oh, I just feel like writing, so I'm going to just start writing something?
It can sometimes be both. Sometimes I want to write down my emotions and I turn it into a poem. And sometimes I find my inspiration outside of the box, like going on a hike. I find things like rough, scaly, bark, smooth.
Okay, so like, you get inspiration also from textures too?
Yes.
Ideas and words. And yeah, that's kind of cool, because that's sort of, you can find it. You're saying that you basically find inspiration in pretty much anything that you can kind of like gravitate towards with your mind, just think about things and then find inspiration through that. So like, what kind of stuff have you been writing lately?
Well, I've made my own quote, and it says, "It takes imagination to make a reality."
That's genius. Yo, that's pretty heavy right there. You got that one all queued up too. Wasn't expecting that. Let's see that again though. And did you do all the drawings for this too?
Yes, I did.
Holy smokes, man.
Every single dragonfly fox.
There's some really interesting textures in that. I don't even know what's going on in there, but that's definitely something. So like, what is that app that you're using? I mean, I know that we're going to be using it for the activity, but actually, no, wait, before we get there, why don't we break down into a song? I know that you said that you were down to share a song before the show. Maybe you have like a new original song that you can share with the audience so they can get some context here.
Oh, of course. Okay, so we have this one is called Left Alone. It's only 1 minute and 38 seconds, but it should work. Tell me if you can hear it or not.
That's pretty heavy there, Akita. It was kind of funny because it's got like a bit of like that EDM drop, like kind of vibe to it. And Van Gorian chimed in here. You remember Van Gorian Franklin? He's been on our show. He's also he's based out in Chesapeake Cree Nation. He's an amazing EDM producer. He says you have the potential to be further talent, continue your path, and hopefully you'll work with us making art in the future. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people got that vision for you, Akita, because you're super talented, but you're taking matters into your own hands. You're literally recording all this stuff on your iPad, which is so cool. So tell us a little bit about like Band Lab and how you came about that, and you know, your drive. What is your motivation to do all this stuff?
Oh, my motivation? I just basically just find it here, and it should say inspiration down here, and I just click one and I just listen to a song, and then I feel in the mood to make music, and then I get flowing.
You just get flowing, and that's pretty awesome. You always have like these little, like these new things constantly always popping up every week, Akita. So it's so cool that like you're using technology to your advantage. And so, so like one of the things I'm hoping for, Akita, is try to get I want to get an acapella or something from you to like make a beat, make some music around your voice from far away. I know that some of our other, some of the producers that have been watching the show have also expressed that interest, just to be able to work with you, because I know you're a future talent, but you already got so much talent right now in your songwriting. You know what I mean? So I definitely would love to do that.
How about my animation?
We could go into your animation. Do you want to show people a little bit about the animation that you're working on?
Okay, so the animation app is called Flip Clip. I use it temporarily. This is my latest animation I made, and I should play it. And that's the entire animation. It's short, but it is heartwarming.
Well, yeah, for sure. Is that your cat? Like, who are those characters that are in that?
Those characters are a character that I made. They are copyright. The name's is Angel Bunny and Dryfly Fox. Dryfly Fox was a regular old fox. His original name was Flytle, and Angel Bunny was originally named Fluffs.
Okay. Pretty interesting characters. Pretty interesting characters. Definitely heartwarming. We're gonna get into like talking a little bit more about those characters when Jimmy comes on, because Jimmy's also an illustrator and he's like really into manga culture, like Japanese like animation as well, and graphic novels. So I feel like we could have a good conversation around characters and stuff when he comes on the show. But before we bring Jimmy onto the show, I kind of want to just zone in a little bit more on, because you know, Akita, like this the show that we do here, Windcarriers, is really tied in also into like traditional knowledge, you know what I mean? And I know that you as a young person, you hold, you know, you had your few years that you spent at Scalep School of Excellence, which is like a really interesting school because it's a school that's located like, you know, on like the unceded, I think it's in Kamloops Indian Band, right? Like it's Secwepemc territory, and it's a school that really focuses on holistic like native education, and you learn about like the culture and language. And when we came to the school, I remember that was a big part of like your learning, was like learning about language and culture. And so like can you talk to me a little bit about how, because you've graduated from Scalep and now you're in Kamloops, how's your journey been when it comes to like, your language and culture, or your culture, for instance?
I was getting stronger at it. My new school also teaches Secwepemc, so I am still learning Secwepemc. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, can you teach me a quick like 1-2 in Secwepemc?
Nakup Sasala is 1 and 2 in Secwepemc. And the other stuff is a little tough. I'm giving myself a break from the language for a little bit, and I'm heading back to school later.
That's it. One thing that I'll always remember, Akita, old Cal Cookby. Cal Cookby is creator. That's it, I'll always remember that one. That's super awesome. And so like my last question before we bring on Jimmy here onto the show and get into like the activity, it would be, because I asked this to all of the youth, and the question is, what teachings or message of your, of your ancestors do you continue to carry with you?
I still continue to spread sage around my house when I feel bad energy. And I sometimes do go berry picking. I make native medicines. And I still have a baby blanket with the picture of an eagle on it.
That's great. I love that one about sage too, because every time we connect, Akita, you always bring that good vibe, that good energy.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel you on that one. It's been a while since I've done that to my house. I feel like it's time to burn a little sage and get some good vibes going in my house.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, Akita. So listen, you're gonna stay on the show with us. We're gonna bring on Jimmy. All right, you're down?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna introduce Jimmy before I bring on Jimmy. I'm super excited. There he goes. Boom! That picture just pops. It's a great picture of the homie here, but really excited to bring him on. Jimmy Baptiste is a father, youth educator, facilitator, graphic artist, curator, and muralist. Raised in Montreal. Kind of sounds, Akita, he's multidisciplinary, kind of like you, eh? His work is inspired by the imaginative world of tattoos, graffiti, and typography, manga culture, and comic books, which has helped him create his unique aesthetic style and compelling, high-quality illustrations. He's got loads of experience in youth workshop facilitation, and he's been working with our organization for the last I think it's like last 4 years or something. We're going to get into some of that. But without further ado, everyone, give it up for the homie, Jimmy Baptiste. What's good, bro? How are you, man?
I'm good. How you doing? How you both doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing great.
That's
awesome.
Just happy to have you.
Thank you, Akita. I have to say you're an amazingly inspiring woman. I feel blessed to be here with you, to hear everything that you just said and see how talented that you are. Like I told you before we got online, you're a very scary artist, because if you're able to do this right now, I can't only imagine what you'll be doing in the future. So much respect.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jimmy, just getting into it a little bit, because when I see like all of the things that Akita can do as a young person, it's inspiring for us too. But it also brings me back to those early days where it's like just experimenting and like kind of seeing all of the things that you can gravitate towards, being a young creative, but not knowing exactly what direction you want to take yet, So, I mean, before we keeping that in mind, Jimmy, maybe introduce us a little bit into like who you are and like the kind of work that you do and what you find in like, what is important to you in your work that you do.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, David, and the whole entire N'we Jinan Empath team. I got a tooth pull out, so my mouth might sound a little bit like because I'm going through this, but I'll survive. So, I'm a graphic artist. I started doing graffiti way back in the days when I was yay tall. A lot of my family used to... most of my family lives in the States, so I've traveled a lot to the United States, and that's how I discovered really graffiti and all the hip-hop culture, fell in love with it. I used to bring my sketchbook before internet existed, so every time I used to travel to New York and take buses, I would just try to sketch as much as like graffiti and like hand tags and lettering that I could, just to like, just to try to like absorb as much of their skills and the artistic vision that I would see. I would never see something dirty. All I would see when I see tags and graffiti was just art and beauty, and people wanted to express themselves, and that's what I wanted to do. So I've used graffiti as a medium to be able to create my own path in life. Now I mostly do youth facilitating around street art, mostly graffiti mural making. And also I do a lot more murals now that I moved into the Ottawa region, a lot more personal and artistic mural. Most of my my purpose as an artist is to be able to give people a way to reappropriate themselves through art, reappropriate their living space, or to create a space through art by creating mural, creating workshops, and so on and so forth.
Okay, it sounds like a very rich journey that you find yourself on, but it's It's great. Thank you for sharing that with us. Definitely appreciate that. And like kind of keeping in context with the conversation I just had with Akita, hearing all of the things that you do. I mean, let's take us back a little bit to that time where you were just kind of starting out, probably had all sorts of creative ambitions, Jimmy. But maybe talk to us a little bit about what has been some of the challenges in finding yourself as an artist.
Well, it's always interesting because we're so influenced and bombarded by different artists everywhere you see. When I was growing up, I was trying to like compare myself to other artists, and often that would make me more depressed than actually empower me, because you don't really think about all the years of experience that goes behind somebody's skills that they were able to represent through their artwork, whether it's music or visual art. So as I grew, I started to challenge myself within myself. So every time I would do a drawing that was really, really nice, super fresh, I'd be like, okay, that's a fresh drawing. My next drawing needs to be even better and even better and even better. And I think that through this state of mind, I was able to really push my own creative skills and also my own drive to become a better artist. And that's a little bit of the things that I try to share when I do my workshop. Often we tend to see failure as something and that is negative, but there's also positive failures that exist in life. So failures that can help you grow, failures that can help you learn, failure that can help you know that you shouldn't do that and you should do the contrary, and different things like that. So that's a lot of the state of mind that I try to put myself to really get to where I am right now today.
The trials and tribulations of an artist, man. I definitely hear you on that one, and it's not an easy journey. But you got to make, you got to make the best choices along the way. Use your intuition and figure out what makes you happy, and that gives you that drive. You know what I mean, to get to what it is that you want to do. And so I definitely appreciate those words. I have a question though too, because we're living in a YouTube generation. The young generation right now. Even myself, like being a music producer, a lot of the stuff that I learn, like I'm not classically trained, right? I learn a lot of stuff like on YouTube. I watch that and then I practice. Like in terms of drawing though, right? Like I it's not like a world that I'm very familiar with or anything, but like. Have you received like technical training, like to get to, to build your skills? And would you still recommend that getting technical training is super important for the skill building aspect? Or can you come from that YouTube generation and learn some of those skills as well and be just as well off?
Well, that's a very good question, first of all. Well, it's a different reality than what we grew up, for example, right? Because there's a lot of skills that we could never been able to acquire because we did not have the same tools that exist today. So somebody could become really good in doing music, be an actor, do whatever, just by you watching basically YouTube videos, create themselves a YouTube channels and start pushing stuff online, and eventually things blows up and they can get exposure. But I really also think that technical knowledge is really important because, like everything in life, you need to know the basic to be able to break them and create a new world. So that's one of the things that I'm happy that I'm doing now. Like at 39, I decided to go back to university and study cartooning because even though I'm pretty talented in drawing, I think, there's still a lot of stuff that I could learn, and there's still a lot of stuff that I wanted to learn also. And cartooning is something that I really like, so I went back to school, I learned the basic, and now I'm able to apply the basic with the skills that I already have right now and that I've experienced in the world. So yes, technical skills I think are really, really important, but you should also not forget that talent also comes from within yourself and through hard work and trial and error, and a lot of failures, a lot of scrapped paper, a lot of broken pencils and dry markers.
That's it, man. In my case, a lot of broken keyboards and broken computers. It's a lot more of an expensive failure thing, over on my end, man. But I definitely hear you on that. And it kind of like, I'm thinking a little bit about Akita too. Because Akita, you have some training, eh? Have you taken some training for any of your arts? I feel like you've done choir, no? Or don't you do choir?
Oh wait, yes, I do choir.
Yeah. And so that's actually a training too. You might not even realize it, but that's like training your vocals, training how to listen to other people, like for arrangements when you're singing. And so one of the cool things, Jimmy, about Akita, like when I first worked with her, I realized that she could just sing like pretty much anything. To like whenever I played a beat, she could freestyle sing and be perfectly on key. You know what I mean? So she has the innate talent, but going to choir probably has helped her understand arrangements around songs. So like she actually, when she writes, and I feel like I'm speaking on Nikita's behalf right now, but I've identified she knows how to do song structure. So she creates rhyme schemes and does like pre-choruses and then choruses and like differentiates all those kind of things, which is like, well, you could be gifted in that, but then you also, if you've been kind of like trained to understand those things, then you can do all of those things,
Well, it comes also like as artists, some of us has Inuit like things that we know how to do without knowing that we know how to do them. It just comes naturally, right? But often that's where the technical skills comes in, because then when you know what it is and you've learned from what people have done in the past, you can amplify your own skills afterwards, right? So
no, definitely, man. Appreciate that. And like kind of just switching the gear a little bit before we get into our activity, because in our activity, we're going to be asking a lot of questions anyway. So we're going to get to learn a little bit about each other, and kind of carrying on Akita's sentiment around it being rough times. I know we're still living in complicated times with COVID. Even ourselves as an organization, we're still trying to figure out how to navigate working within schools and communities, like, you know what I mean? But because of COVID, it's like kind of changed a lot of the way we're approaching things. Do we all just go online? All this kind of stuff. But my question for you, Jimmy, is just around COVID, you know what I mean? Maybe have you had like some changed perspectives on things when it comes to like your art form, even just generally when it comes to life, like kind of perspectives? Maybe share some of that insight with us.
Well, I can tell you that one of the things I think that I will miss a lot as a facilitator is the one-on-one closeness that you have with youth and individual that you get to work with when you do youth facilitating project. The fact that you're able to share energy with someone that has similar interests with you is something that's really hard to create through a computer. So for me, that's one of the things that I think that's going to be really different for us to adapt and trying to find a different way to get people to really get into the projects that we are hoping to do in the future. Second thing, is just regular stuff, just to be able to hug people, high five, share love, all these physical contact that we used to create with people that we really keep close to our heart. Now we have to do it like virtually or like from afar, which is kind of like weird, but we're getting used to it. But it's part of life. We have our generation right now are living through a world moment defining situation, just like world wars or famine that has happened in past centuries. Right now, we're living through something that's changing the whole entire way that our life are going to be, and we just have to adapt and make the best out of it. So I'm a pretty positive person, but I'm also a realist person. So like I said, we just trying to make the best of what we have.
No, definitely. Yo, while you're saying that, I kind of got scared looking at Akita's screen because she kind of looks like the Grudge a bit. Because you know how like no, Akita, because like I just see your hair just like that, and it's like, yo, it's mad spooky, man, mad spooky. But that's one of the cool things about, like, for me, I also look at the positive side of COVID, the giving us some time to reflect and think about what's important to us, and like, spending more time with family and like really slowing down. Though it's been hard at the same time, you got to find that balance to pay the bills, especially if you're an artist, and it's kind of like, you need your livelihood in order to be able to be chill at your house. You know what I mean? So it's definitely complicated times. But yeah, yo, Akita, I have a question. Like, have you guys started school yet? Like, I still don't know what's going on with the schools out in BC, First Nation schools too. Like, what's happening out in Kamloops? Like, when's school starting?
School is gonna be normal here, except it's gonna be extended near springtime. Apparently, younger kids are smart enough to know how to social distance, and we have to be in like different. And Brock school has to be in different rooms or something.
Okay, so you guys haven't officially started yet?
No,
Okay,
not yet.
interesting. And so do you know when the start date's gonna be? Is it in October now?
No, it's still in September. Really
it's
coming
still-
up soon.
Okay, how are you feeling about going back to school, like in context with like COVID and everything that's been happening?
I'm feeling a little edgy. I'm like kind of on the edge of my seat. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I trust that everything's gonna be fine.
That's it. That's all you could really do. Jimmy, did you have a question there?
No, I was just about to say that even for me, that I'm not going back to school, I kind of have the same type of feeling, right? Like what's gonna happen? Because, like I said, a lot of my favorite project is to work directly in schools with students, and I have the same feeling. We don't really know what's happening. We don't really know how things are gonna stand and how we're gonna be able to really adapt. But I think that right now we kind of just have to see how things start and thing goes, and then just go through it with what we have, you know.
No, that's it, man. I mean, it's gonna come down to adapting and obviously trying to be as safe as possible, especially with vulnerable communities, like, you know, especially Indigenous communities that are remote, isolated, and like COVID is not really, you know, it's not necessarily a threat like internally, but it's like when you have visitors come in, that's the actual threat. You know what I mean? It's
Definitely
that somebody could be a carrier of COVID, and so we're like, as an organization, we're trying to figure out how to best navigate continuing for our programming next year, but we're moving everything until January, essentially January 2021, to start all of our residencies and all of our work. But even then, we're not even sure what it's going to look like then. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's just complicated times, man. You know what I mean? But we're going to do the best that we can. And, you know, it all comes down to, you know, being resourceful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what this all comes down to. We got to be as resourceful as possible, learn from all of the skills that we've learned in the past, and start using some of those skills, whatever it may look like, you know?
Be flexible and adapt.
That's it, man. And you know, this resource. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for Akita, actually. Are you planning to do like a music video with an animation music video with your songs and your animation together? That'd be really dope.
Yes, it can take up to weeks to make an animation. Like the first one you just saw there was it took around 2 weeks to make.
Wow. And that's like what, 15 seconds, not even?
Yes.
That's crazy. So I can imagine that doing a music video with one of your tracks, it's probably gonna take a couple months if you really want it to be like clean cut tight.
Yeah.
But I believe in you, like I just said. So I know, please share it with N'we Jinan so I can listen to it and share it if ever you get to that point in life.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Cool. And like, you know, keeping it in, you know, I thought I kind of want to move it into the activity because we have our people at home that are prepared to, and I think we've been sort of prepared. I don't know how it's going to go, but it's kind of like a new part of the show is just doing an activity together. And so this particular one is going to be new territory for me. I've never done this. I've never actually facilitated this workshop, but it's a workshop that is, it's actually was introduced to me through the PedPod team here at InPath, our organization. The PedPod team's exceptional group of like educational specialists, and we kind of like, you know, we do a lot of training around skill sharing, learning about one another, and like learning a little bit about what skills do we actually have within us. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, you know, me, Akita, and Jimmy, we're here together kind of as a little group, getting to know each other a little bit. And sometimes when you're in a group of people, sometimes it's hard to get to know about like everybody, you know what I mean? And sometimes you can have a conversation about it, but sometimes it takes a while to really learn like, oh, I didn't realize that like Akita can do animations. You know what I mean? Sometimes it might take you 6 months before you even get to that conversation. And it's like, it's good to know these things up front. So this is an activity that we do at InPath, that we've done at InPath. And I wanted to do it with you two, but also do it with our audience at home. It's called the Pack Chat activity. It's essentially a metaphor that this backpack or pack that you have is like is a culmination of all the things that skills and values and the things that you cherish that go into this backpack that you bring with you anywhere you go. So like right now we're here today on the Windcarriers Challenge show. You bring in your backpack to the table. Akita's brought her iPad. She's brought all of her like her skill sharing. You know what I mean? Jimmy, you've brought your your hurting mouth with your your teeth are just aching and your broken pencils out of frustration. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? But that's what like this kind of activity is to walk us through what does our pack look like. So I'm gonna start this. Akita, you have your iPad ready, right?
Yes.
Let's see it. Let's see your fresh page. Are you starting a new page?
No,
Did you already start?
Yes.
She's already finished the activity. What the heck?
It doesn't take long.
I guess not. Yo, honestly, for me, this would take like at least 20 minutes. This is crazy.
I even did a quick lettering of.
Wow, you guys destroyed me. Okay, activity's done. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Windcarriers Challenge. We'll see you all. Oh my goodness, you guys are killing me. Hold on, let me get into this. Let me see. Akita's here. Let's go solo. Oh my gosh, it's like
nice.
Come on, up.
That's it.
No, it's still going. It's just being glitchy.
This is hilarious. My whole activity.
You on Procreate?
What are you using there?
Akita, are you on Procreate?
No, I'm using IBIS Paintex.
IBS Paintex. You're giving me so much knowledge today.
This is crazy though. That looks amazing. Hey, Akita, can you break? Well, actually, I'm going to run through the pack chat real quick, and then I would like to actually break down a little bit about the things that you included in your pack chat, okay? In your pack. I want to know a little bit more about Akita Abraham and what she brings to the table when she comes. And same with you, Jimmy. But so I'm going to go back into this here real quick. So, and we're going to be sharing this as a resource as well. So we just dropped the link. So for the people at home that would like to create the backpack, these are some of this is a basic activity. So the first thing is, what does your backpack look like? What's it called? It could look like any one of these things depending on your personality, but it does say something about your personality as well. You know what I mean? About the type of backpack that you can choose. You can kind of just choose whichever one. So if you're at home right now and you're thinking that one of these backpacks resonates with you, take the time to draw it right now. You know what I mean? Draw it out right now. Just how you just saw kind of Akita do it. Jimmy also drew. They both drew the backpack, but there's other types of packs that you can draw. Take a couple of minutes just to draw it out. And these are some examples from our PedPod team of some of the backpacks that they created. So yeah, just to give you a little idea. An important reminder is that we encourage you to reflect on whichever questions you feel connected to. So there's a series of questions that we'd like to ask everybody of what to actually include in your backpack, And so you can also, me personally, like I'm not a good drawer, so I would actually have to include the words and put words into my backpack. But seeing Akita's, like, she's already got some interesting drawings in there. She's got some interesting colors, interesting symbols. So she's kind of like created like a bit of like, answered the questions without having to draw words. Me, I have to draw words. I'll show you what my backpack actually looks like because I just did this workshop as well. But so these are some of the questions. So what skills are you proud of? What are your hobbies? What do you make and create? So while the listeners at home are drawing and kind of, think about these things and start building your backpack, start trying to include some of these things. What are your skills? Like say if it's singing, or say if it's playing guitar, maybe you can draw a guitar. Maybe there's maybe you're really good at I don't know. What are some things that people are good at, Akita?
Some people can be good at writing. Some people can be good at making art. Some people can be good at making animations. Some people are really good at starting conversations.
That's true. How would you draw that? A mouth? Just a big mouth.
Pac-Man characters facing each other.
That's it. That's it. Some people could be good at riding horses. Some people could be amazing at making a cheeseburger. You just never know what their skills are, right? So the people at home, just think about all these skills. Think about your hobbies. What's one of your hobbies, Jimmy?
Without not art, it's my second thing that I love to do more. It's cooking in life. That's basically what I've been doing a lot since when we were all cooked up in the house. I was in the kitchen like 10 hours a day, man. I was trying everything that you could try. You know, I've make my own pizza bread, make my own pasta. My girlfriend bought me a pasta machine because I love making pasta so much. I was trying everything, man. I'd spend hours on YouTube and be like, all right, how can I do a chow mein? I go like, YouTube, chow mein. And then I search for like a little Asian lady that would show me how to do chow mein because I try to be as like pay respect to the origin of the culinary cook. So I just tried a bunch of stuff, man. That's my second thing that I like to cook a lot. Yeah.
Respect, bro. When I get my invitation, bro, I'll come see you in Wakefield, man.
Dude, you are invited anytime, man. Oh, and the other thing that I started to do this year is I started smoking meat a lot. I bought myself a barbecue. And bro, I smoked myself a pulled pork for 8 hours this week, man. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man.
That's crazy. I thought you were just gonna pause on that one. What I started doing, my hobby is smoking.
No,
meat.
Come on.
Nah, I get it, bro. How about you, Akita? Akita, what are some of your hobbies?
Sorry about my blanket.
Oh, Akita's a little busy right there.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, we got Van Gorian. He's gonna go with the fanny pack. Shout out to Van Gorian who's doing this. And this is like we're just having a conversation. So the audience at home, while we're having this convo, feel free to include some of these questions into your backpack. Akita, what is one of your hobbies outside of the art? Outside of art?
One of my hobbies is rock hunting or cooking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Looks like you guys got that in common. Akita, what's your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook. Ooh. My favorite thing to cook would be like a fried egg or a French toast.
I'm down with a fried egg. I love my fried eggs on top of like rice or pretty much on top of anything.
Yeah.
I go for the French toast.
You go for French toast, eh?
Yeah, man.
I see. Awesome.
And apparently I make very good coffee. My mom found my secret ingredient.
And what's that?
Cinnamon sugar.
Oh. That's actually a pretty good tip. I've never done that before, but I'm gonna try that.
No doubt.
Gives your coffee a little more spice.
I think we're learning a lot about each other. My hobby is I play video games. I'm a huge video game enthusiast.
Nice.
I'm up on my PS4, so all you PSN people, David Hodges MTL, please add me. I'll check you on what's that game? Oh, what the heck? I'm drawing a blank, man. What's the biggest game right now? The Call of Duty game.
I can tell you, man, I had to make a choice 10 years ago in my life. It was either to stay stuck in video games or focus on art. And I just never got a game console.
Yeah. Sorry, it's Warzone. It's Warzone that I play. But I actually just saw there's a new documentary on Netflix called High Score. Talks about all the old video game consoles, and they talk about Sega Genesis. That was like my thing. When I was Akita's age, that's all I did was play Sega Genesis. Bro, Sonic the Hedgehog and Madden 95, those were like my jams, man. My jams.
No doubt.
So those are some of my hobbies. Huh?
It's a dope documentary. I started watching it yesterday, actually.
That's it, bro. That's it, man. So, yeah. So anybody, man, that wants to have me on PSN, you can. It's David Hodges MTL. But anyway, so we'll go to the next question. This is to dive in a little deeper here into some of your skills. But what personality traits are your strengths? That's kind of a fun question to ask because people don't know. They don't see their personality as a strength, but or their traits. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll start with you, Akita. What is one of your personality traits that you think you consider a strength?
I think my personality traits. I don't know what that means.
A personality trait?
Yeah.
It's basically something. It's like a characteristic of your behavior. It's like how you behave. I guess it's like what? How you behave. Yeah, like in your behavior, like being like super quirky or being super joyful, being very laughing a lot. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? Is that what a personality trait is, Jimmy? I'm having trouble.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. You know, like if I would go for mine, for example, if you want to find an inspiration, like I think I'm a pretty positive person. I also love to talk once I'm asked a question. Sometimes I talk too much. I think it's a great trait. And also my amazing smile and the hole in my teeth.
That's your identity, bro.
That's, you know, you have to accept yourself the way you are and love yourself the way you are. So it took me a long time, but here I am now.
That's it, eh? Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that's what a personality trait is.
I'm like super energetic, like
Nice.
all the time.
That's it. So that's a great strength of yours, Akita. I always thought that about you too. You, Akita, you're also very what's the word? Oh,
Energetic, happy.
well, you're not shy, but it's not like confidence, but you kind of like you're just very
Vivid.
what is
Vivid.
it? Vivid.
That's a very nice adjective. I like
Vividness.
that.
Yeah, you are a very vivid person, that's for sure. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of qualities to you, Akita, but they're like words that are hard to explain. Sometimes I find that's how I explain. Like you're kind of got a mysterious confidence kind of vibe going on, Akita. But vivid is great. Me too. I like to talk a lot, but I'm more of a listener. But I mean, I do I do talk a lot. What did I write down? Also, say I'm hardworking and I'm actually pretty optimistic. So meaning optimism, Akita. Do you know what that means? It's like I'm always like looking on the positive side of things, so I don't really like look at the negative. So I see that for me, that's like one of my personality traits is that I'm always like positive about stuff. It's very hard for me to be negative, even if like people are hating on me or feeling like I feel kind of a negative energy. I'm always like trying to like make something into a positive, take a negative, make it into a positive. So that's like one of my traits. How about this other question? If you wrote a book, what would the title be?
That's a good question.
This is a weird one.
I have an idea.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
But of course, it would be like around my character, Dry-Fi Fox. Because he has the same personality as me. And when things get sad, he takes it too seriously.
So what's the name of the book?
Title.
Is that what it
The
is?
name of the book was I'm just gonna name a book that I've already made. It's called Dry-Fi Fox and the Kitten Catastrophe. So Dry-Fi Fox is about to make food. A parcel arrives at his door, and apparently there was a kitten inside, and he had to take care of it. The kitten got into his magic powder that helped Dry-Fi Fox to fly, and they got even messier from there.
Well, hence the catastrophe, I guess. That makes sense. It just probably keeps getting crazier and crazier.
In the end, it turned out fine.
Nah, that's cool. That's good. That's good. Maybe that's what the book could be called. It turned out fine. But anyways, I love the kitten.
Nice.
The kitten catastrophe is also pretty cool. But this is another for the audience at home. These are other things that you could include and add. So in the case of Akita, it's like maybe she would have probably incorporated her kitten or the fox into her backpack, and then could have conversations around that. But at least now we know that, Akita's written a book and has these two characters that have some character development. So that also shows a lot of other skills that Akita has that I guess I didn't know. So it's kind of cool. Like, talk, like these are just conversations that like allow us to learn a little bit more about each other. These are some other things too here for the audience at home that you could include into your pack. What are you passionate about? What do you value? What drives you? I don't know if we'll go through all of these questions right now, but because I want to I don't know if any of these questions right now, Akita and Jimmy, like have you maybe thinking about adding some stuff to your backpack right now?
Yeah, well, I'm doing the same thing now that I have some of the questions. I try to like add some of my answers within that backpack.
One of the things that I want to know, especially with Akita, is like what drives you? Do you know what that means?
Not really.
So it's more like about motivation, like sometimes like having drive is like having ambition. So it's like, if this is a goal, like this is what I want to do. All right. With like, say this animation thing, right? Like takes you 2 weeks to do it. Well, you need to have drive and motivation. Like what is that driving factor or that thing that's making you motivated to get to that goal, to finishing something?
My sisters. My sisters watch the same boring show every day. And there's some parts of it that are animated, and it just wants me to get focused at getting better on my animation. And my goal was to finish it, and I completed that goal.
Awesome.
That's pretty great. So you basically want to provide like better programming for your sisters to watch. So it's like I might as well create the programming for my sisters to watch. That is your drive.
And the TV show was quite an old one. It was a show I watched when I was little. It's called Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh, I don't know that one. I'm not on my Jimmy. I feel like you should be up on your kid TV shows. Are your kids watching TV or what?
Yeah, my daughter's 7, but she's a really interesting one. She's more into now. She still watches cartoon, but she really loves Power Ranger right now. Like she's in these kids like early teens TV show, soap opera for kids type of stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird because you're like, my daughter's already that old in life where cartoon doesn't like interest her that much.
That's crazy, bro. I was watching cartoons like you're a cartoon enthusiast, right? You're into manga. You said manga animation, graphic novels and stuff like that. Like, have you been trying to bring that influence a bit into her, into like her upbringing too?
100%. For Christmas, we bought her the My Little Pony art book, for example, because she was really into My Little Pony. So, and also, as you may see on this side here, I have a bunch of books which are mostly like art books and stuff. So, she can always like pick and choose whatever the one she wants, and we go through some of them, and we go on Pinterest. She's like, yo, can you show me how to draw a tiger? And I was like, all right, I'm going to learn how to draw a tiger too, I think showing vulnerability to kids is a really good thing as a parent because it shows them that you're not perfect, but you're still the parent. So you still need to hold it down. Mm-hmm. But to show that you're learning at the same time, it's a great way for kids to build confidence, and to humble yourself.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Appreciate that. Akita, you were just trying to show us a little something. Did you add something?
Oh, not really. I'm just kind of showing the audience my oldest pictures, like this one.
Very, very nice.
And I made a funny one that said, "Did somebody just say artist?"
That's it. Actually, Akita, can you bring back your pack chat, the backpack that you created, and maybe bring us?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, and bring us through some of the elements in your backpack, like why you decided to draw it.
Okay, so the lightning bolt here, it includes how much energy I have. The one helping hand is because I'm quite helpful with my sisters. I do have a love for almost everything, and I'm really peaceful sometimes. And I forgot to draw a pencil, but I do love drawing a lot.
I can see that. What else you got in that backpack?
The rainbow, because I think of everything in a colorful mood. Everything in a colorful mood.
I love that. I love that. And you got some cool textures going on there. What is that? Like leaves or something?
No. Well, everything's pretty much blurred and rainbowized.
That's super awesome. And that's a good example for the folk at home right now that are trying to like get down on this this activity. Akita kind of broke it down in like such a perfect way, you know what I mean? Where it's just really talking about all the things that are important to her. Can you show it to us one more time, like the animation, so we can kind of see it? And then we'll get into Jimmy. Yeah, I want to see the animated version of it too.
Oh, the drawing. Okay.
Well, the animated version of the backpack, you know, like how you remember you press play and it
Oh,
kind of
I drawed it.
Yeah.
I started out with that. Right now I'm drawing blurring. That's why it doesn't look like much. And then I start going again.
Oh, this is cool, man.
Definitely.
And you did that with your finger?
Yes. I don't have a stylus at the moment.
But still, though, you still killed it with you got some nifty fingers there, huh?
That's true, huh?
Jeez. Akita's young, though. She's still got small little fingers, you know?
Yeah. She can use it as a pencil.
I mean, here's a fresh page. I'll draw a dry fly fox before this is over.
All right, that's great. While you do that, let's Jimmy, why don't you get into, are you adding or are you still working on your pack right now?
Yeah, I'm adding. I can show it. So for me in my school bag, I went around like the idea that you were talking. Let's see if we can go. Yeah, there you go. So on the handle, I kind of use like all the different elements of it as a backpack to show their importance this way. So on the handle of the backpack, you have friends and family. On the big part here, you have respect, and I was about to write respect for yourself, for others, nature, and your environment. Creativity, I put it big because it's something that is part of my state of mind. Art and my smile right here. Strive for more. It's one of the things that I've always went through. So in life, so for example, I don't really have an academic background that much. I've never finished any university or schools, but every job that I've had is I try to reach for something that was a little bit higher than what I was able to do in life. And most of the time I was able to get that opportunity because I believed in myself. And I also knew that I could learn really fast and exceed my own expectation and the expectation of the company. Wow. And the biggest part also here, you have Black Lives Matter, because, you know, it's something as a Black person that that relates to who I am since I was born, you know, and I have to thank a lot N'we Jinan and Empath for this, because working with First Nation community and traveling and different community really made me question my own Blackness, like my place as a Black person in the world that I live, and also to see how Indigenous community really hold it down between each other. Really made me think about how us Black people are, what we do also as Black people. How do I see myself and my community in a world that mostly white, because nobody really looks like me, you know? So, yeah. So, and then on each side you have experience, and on experience here you have a spray paint. Oh, right here you have a spray paint, a fork, a knife, a pencil, and a brush. And then you have knowledge on the other side, which is also important, you know? So that's a little bit of what I was building, you know, it's a little bit of, I guess, who I am, what I strive for, and the things that are important to me. Yeah. Wow,
man, that's pure fire, though, man. It's beautiful. A lot of inspiration in your backpack, that's for sure, man. Definitely appreciate you sharing that. It's also stylized really well, like your like your fonts that you use. What do you call that? Like, it's not called typography, is it? What is it called?
Yeah, it's typography. It's creative typography. So you have graffiti in it, but you also like cursive, bold letters, also sheriff. Sheriff are all letters with like little bars
Okay.
on each end. So I try to use different typography to create a really dynamic type of illustration. Often in most of my workshop, I show the basic to the kids and people that wants to how to create all these letters, whether it's by grids, rectangles, or just as skeletons.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
for example, I'll just show you quick. So, for example, I had written the word backpack like this,
Yeah.
and then I simply like overlay another piece of paper on top and just redrew around, leaving a little bit of space to make it a lot thicker.
Oh,
And
wait a
then after
sec.
that-
Oh, I see. That's a trick, bro. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
man.
oh, I didn't know, man. I never done this workshop, with you, man. So I never knew that
Yes.
was the trick. So it's kind of like you create like it's like a blurb or like a 3-dimensional kind of vibe, and then you draw that line around it. Is it?
Well, it's kind of a template, right? So
Yeah.
you create your templates, you write the letters. Like you can go as crazy as you want with your lettering.
Yeah.
And once you have your lettering, it's just a question of figure out how. Oops, let me just see if I can do it like this. How thick you want your letters to be. So then you just try to be as consistent as possible on each letters.
Yeah.
So that way you're able to really create something. And once you have that base, it's like everything else you do in life. Once you have your sauce, you can add spices and make it as spicy or as mild or as salty as you want. So it's just a question of you adapting these fonts afterwards,
Or you could just add cinnamon, right? Like that's all you really
That's
need.
right. Cinnamon sugar. You can just add cinnamon sugar and make that thing sweet.
Yes.
See, everything relates to each other some type of ways in life.
That's it, man. That's it. I definitely love these backpacks. I hope that the audience at home are having fun with it as well, because this is gonna tie into our challenge. Our challenge of the
Look
week.
at that. She did it. That's pretty fast. That's awesome.
That is ridiculously fast. I don't even get it.
Okay,
Like-
here's how it started.
Nice.
Oh, with a little wink too, eh?
Yeah.
Let me just see here. I'm trying to make graffiti.
Nice. So yeah, like often like when I do projects, like people tend to see graffiti as something extremely complicated. Perfect, man. So imagine just overlay another piece of paper on top of this.
Yeah.
You use a pencil, and then after that, you should really start like creating the shapes of your letters that you want. Bold, skinny, add drip stars. And then after that, you start giving character 3D lettering, shadows, highlights, and so on and so forth.
For sure, for sure.
I'm always
That's super dope.
discovering things with this iPad, and I just discovered I can make it a mandala just by
Nice.
new lines.
What? This is crazy.
Yo, Akita, what is that app that you're using though? Because there might be some people at home that might want to get access to it. What's it called?
Oh, it's called IBIS Paint Text. Hold on. I gotta let it show its icon when I press into it. So IBIS Paint Text.
Okay, IBIS Paint Text. I'll check this out when I hang up the phone.
The
IBIS
P is
Paint.
rainbow.
I see. Is that a free app?
Yes, there are some in-app purchases, but you can get them for free just by watching an ad.
Okay.
That's how they get you, huh?
But only for 18 hours, and then you have to watch another ad.
Are you watching
No,
ads, or did you get access to the full version?
Oh no, I have to watch ads.
Dang, yo.
My mom's a Sensi consultant, so she wants to keep as much money as she can.
Okay.
Respect.
That's it. Are you working these days, Akita? You're almost, what are you, 14 now? So did you have a job this summer or not? No job?
I do have a little bit of a job babysitting, but that's pretty much it.
That's pretty good though. That's something, that's for sure.
Yeah. I also got paid to mow a lawn.
Oh, there you go. One lawn? No, $15. What did you get? $15.
I got $10 for mowing the front lawn.
Oh, that's good. That makes sense. There's some people. Oh, we just shared we shared Akita's app right now with everyone. It's called IBIS Paint. It's on the Apple Store. So if Akita's piqued your interest, we're not getting endorsed or paid here by IBIS Paint, but it looks like Akita's able to do wonders over there with it. So I feel like Akita, you recommended it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an Akita recommended app, so definitely go out and get that. Vangorian is also trying to reach out to you, Akita. He'll probably send you a DM, but Akita, perhaps I can help you with background music that you can use royalty-free for your animations if you're down, because I used to help students make background music and sound effects for their short films in my school.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the tips.
That's it. So Vangorian will probably reach out to you, Akita. Share, maybe y'all can create a little, you can use some of his music for some of those animations that you created. So that's it. I think that we basically did the pack chat here. There was a couple more things left on the pack chat, but I feel like we covered a lot of it. Let me just see here. Where's the screen? Let me bring that screen back. We basically answered almost all the questions. There's a few more here. There's and these are just to give the audience at home, when you're doing this this challenge this week, creating your backpack, creating the pack. These are just questions and stuff that you can literally just ask yourself, and then just to give you more, if you feel like you need more, you want to add more elements to your backpack. These are just different questions. This is more for the learning folk. But actually, now that we asked this question and we know that Akita mowed a lawn for $10, what is your CV? It's like, what is your resume? So Akita be like, I mowed a lawn. So she would either now draw grass or a lawnmower and put that into her backpack, because if Akita ever came by my place and I knew that she mowed lawns, I'd be like, yo, Akita, you want $10? I'll trust you enough to mow my lawn, That was a long-winded
Anyways, I saw something near one of them. It said, what do you value? And so I took a picture of this moment, me and my dad talking in a first time in a very long time. Ever since I was a baby.
Holy smokes, man. That's your pops, man. It's true. How's That's crazy, man. So COVID reconnected you guys.
Yes.
That's so awesome. How was that conversation, if you don't mind me asking?
It almost took like an entire day. We had bonding time.
Oh, that's nice.
That is awesome, though. I'm happy for you, Akita. I know. Well, you said that it's been since you were a baby that you haven't spoken to your father?
Yeah, apparently when I was born, my dad was prancing around the hospital with me in his hands. Look at my beautiful daughter.
That's it. That's amazing, though. I'm so happy that you guys reconnected. And so what do you value? You value your relationships with your family, with your dad?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. Thank you for sharing.
He's coming to BC very soon, and hopefully I'll be able to bond with him more.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. That's so awesome.
They're trying to find a way to send my sisters over here.
And your family, they're based out they're in Alberta,
Yeah.
Okay. That's so cool, though. Kamloops, it's like Kamloops is super nice too, Do you consider like Kamloops home now? I mean, you've been there your whole life, no? Or
Yes. I know. I pretty much know Kamloops like the back of my hand.
That's it. Shout out to all our peoples out in Kamloops, interior BC. It's definitely a place that N'we Jinan's done a lot of work, and it's really it's always great to reconnect with you, Akita. Even you, and obviously you, Jimmy. We haven't chatted too much this year, but we've been in and out. You know what I mean? But it's always it's always love, man, and it's always good vibes whenever we connect,
doubt.
bro. You know what I mean? So I think because we're running here on an hour and 30 minutes for the show, this activity is it's gone, man. It's gone, but it's been amazing. Obviously, I could just sit here and chat with you guys, you know what I mean? And people will continue to watch us doing art and having conversations, but we got to end it at some point. So I'm probably going to end it right now. But before we go, Jimmy, I don't know if there's any questions you have for Akita, but actually I had a question for you before we leave. And it's about, we always ask our artists this question, but it's about what teachings from the youth do you carry with you today?
To trust the process, and also to believe in yourself, because you see it as much as I do. We go into these community or in these classes, a lot of the kids never drowned before, don't trust their skills or don't trust themselves. But as soon as we're able to give them a small amount of knowledge and a lot of confidence and make them believe in themselves, you're like opening a brand new Pandora's door, and then you discover amazing artists and amazing individual or something. You're just able to build self-confidence through making them sing and seeing themselves sing each other, or just even having a simple conversation, you know? So the thing that I carry from kids, you know, is to try to be as humble as possible with my own skills and try to learn every day to become even better.
That's it, man. Like just watching Akita, all the stuff that she can do. I know that you said, Jimmy, yo, you're scared, man, because she's coming for your jobs, bro. You know what I mean? With all these skills.
Sorry for vibing you in the background. I'm just vibing to the washer, just boom ba doom ba doom.
It just doesn't end. That's great, Akita. I definitely appreciate you, Akita, coming on to the show today. Before the end of the day, Akita, are you willing to post your backpack onto the internet? Use the hashtag Windcarriers challenge too. Okay.
Okay.
Amazing. Same with you, Jimmy. If you can do it, it's to give more people like kind of, I don't know, to get it going, man. You know, it's the challenge of the week. Akita, it will actually count for a submission too, so you could win the prize for next week and the MacBook Pro. Who knows? Your name might be the lucky one to be drawn. You never know. But thank you both for joining me today for another edition of Windcarriers Challenge. I'll bid you both a goodbye. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
No doubt. Nice to meet you, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye. So that was Jimmy and Akita, doing another Windcarriers challenge. And so the challenge of the week, though, as I said, is to create your own backpack, your own pack chat. Do the pack chat activity. We've dropped the resources that were created by the PedPod team here at InPath. We're super grateful for all the resources that they've been developing, actively training our team, but we want to use some of those resources and send some of those resources out to all of y'all to do this next challenge. Akita's going to post it up, same with Jimmy, so you will have those as reference. And so definitely we're excited to see what kind of backpacks you come up with this week for the Windcarriers challenge. So that will conclude it for today. We're dropping some comments here to make sure you check out Jimmy's Instagram page. He's got a lot of incredible artwork. If you really want to get connected more to him and all of the stuff that he does, maybe invite him to do some workshops as well. He's also for hire there too. So just make sure you go check out Jimmy Baptiste. We just dropped the link as well in our Instagram. And yeah, so that's it. So it's pretty much the end of the show today. We're gonna end on on the note that we always do, the Windcarriers Volume 8 Song of the Week. Courtesy of the Niska Nation, called "Make It Through." We want to give a big shout out to Akita and Jimmy for coming back on the show, and to everyone that is tuned in that actually did the backpack chat activity with us. Post it up. Hashtag Windcarriers Challenge, and that's your submission. And let's get these vibes rolling out on the internet. Have a great week, everyone. This is Make It Through, Niska Nation Elementary Secondary School. Bye bye.
I'm in a small space, trapped in a dark place. Get me out, I'm scared. Somehow, somewhere, I know I can be happy there.
I was feeling kind of low, feeling like I was moving slow. I didn't know what to do anymore. But now I got better days. I left the mess behind, now it's yesterday.
I'm not depressed, but I get stressed sometimes. I got a lot of thoughts, they make me cry a lot. Coping mechanisms that are unhealthy. I'm hoping that you'll listen to my voice and help me.
I cannot take the pain away, but I can make you laugh until it fades away. I'll always be around for my baby sister. Don't you ever doubt it, 'cause I'm right here with ya.
There's a lot on my mind and I think I wanna write it down. There's a light in the dark and I know I wanna find it now. Every single day is a struggle, but I'm gonna make it through. I'll make it through. There's a light in the dark, and I know I'm gonna find it. When my yet died, I couldn't breathe. More than family, I lost a part of me. I hope you know that I'm doing better. I'll miss you forever.
You made me feel at home, you gave me your support. I used to be shy, now I got cousins by my side. My dad wanted to travel the world, just us two, but he was taken away too soon. And Mom, I hope you find happiness and get on track, cause we wanna come back.
There's a lot on my mind and I think I wanna write it down. There's a light in the dark and I know I wanna find it now. Every single day is a struggle, but I'm gonna make it through. I'll make it through. There's a light in the dark and I know I'm gonna. Gaskar Lucer I Gaskar Laxi Dem Seit Schwarzens Agendados. Little bit darkness, little bit light. Mix it together and you got life. Little bit darkness, little bit light. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Mix it together and you got life. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Little bit of darkness, little bit of light. Mix it together and you got life. Little bit